Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be upcycling a couple of lamps that I found at the thrift store. I found these two matching lamps yesterday at the Giving Tree. I paid $8 each. I grabbed them because when I saw them it looked like they would come apart in several different pieces, and I was correct. I began by snipping the cord off the bottom, unscrewing the electrical part at the top that holds the light bulb, and then usually the pieces will just start sliding off. Now every lamp is a little different, but generally it's pretty easy. The rod that was attached to the bottom came apart pretty easy. I gave it a wiggle and I was able to pull it out from the bottom. Now that I've taken all of the lamp pieces apart, this is what I have come up with. These two beautiful big bases are going to get some wood rounds to become risers. I'm going to make a couple of smaller risers, and then I think I'm going to try to create some bird's nests to go on top of a few of these. All of the pieces a good scrub. I just used some Dawn Power Wash and a metal brush in my kitchen sink to make sure all of the adhesive would stick well. I pulled all of the stickers and the little feet off of my wood rounds. These were actually cloche bottoms, and I repurposed the tops for a different project. I didn't mind the way these looked, but I wanted them to be a little shabbier, so I grabbed some 220 grit sandpaper and gave them a little bit more distressing. These were like a silver, very heavy metal that have been painted white, and I think somebody spray painted them at some point over the years. I've grabbed my E6000. I'm going to give a nice thick coat across the top of this, and then to hold the wood round in place while the E6000 dries, I will use a little bit of hot glue. And hot glue does dry really fast on metal, so it will hold it while the E6000 sets. I flipped all the pieces upside down to dry to make sure the glue would stay in contact with the top and to give a little extra pressure for drying. I love the way that these risers came out. It was a very easy project with a very high-end look. Be sure you are not skipping the lamp section when you are out thrifting. If you are curious where to find my finds and flips, plus the paint and products I sell, that's over on my website, upcycledbybrie.com. But I will be sure to list everything down in the description box below for you as well. Wasn't loving the wood tone on the other piece of wood, so I grabbed my DIY Apothecary paint. It is a beautiful mint green color, and of course DIY paint is a clay-based paint that is highly pigmented and very thick, so the coverage here, as you can see, is amazing. I gave it one nice thick coat, and that took care of it. I glued this one on and then flipped it over into the touch-up paint. I wanted to make sure I had metal to wood contact for the best adhesion. Once the pieces were dry, I grabbed my DIY clear wax and sealed up my paint, plus ran it over all of my raw wood just to freshen it up a bit. That I can't use Apothecary without some white wax. It is one of my favorite combinations. The DIY wax is super soft and buttery smooth, so it's really easy to apply. I like to work off of my lid so I don't get any paint inside of my wax containers, and I usually just use a little chip brush with my white wax. You can see it gives this beautiful weathered wood effect. I go across the top and around the edges and wipe back any excess with a dry paper towel. I decided to add some white wax to these smaller wood rounds as well, and it really sunk down into all those fresh cuts and gave a beautiful weathered wood look. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know, do you prefer the white and natural wood look, or are you digging this painted Apothecary color with the base? It's really hard for me to pick. I think I like the Apothecary one the best. In the mini version, I painted a couple with French Millenary by DIY. They got clear and white wax as well. Love that for a spring color. And here are the smaller wooden rounds that got the white wax for a beautiful shabby chic effect. The single piece I had left, I decided to add a bird's nest. I grabbed this nest out of my stash. I thrifted it a few weeks ago. I applied that same E6000 glue and some hot glue over the top, and I just held this until the hot glue dried. It weaved in through all those little branches and gave a really good hold. Another super simple flip, but it just gives this bird's nest an elevated, literally, high-end effect. This is a method I love doing in the springtime. So for these last few pieces, I'm going to make them into little floral arrangements. Instead of just painting the top white, I have used some liquid glue. I just have some Elmer's, poured that on top, and now I am sprinkling actual real dirt on. I should have done this step here first. I poked some floral foam down into the bottom to fill the hole. That way I'd have somewhere to put my flowers. Flipped it back over and touched up my dirt. On the last two pieces, I did the floral foam first. It was much easier. After I have all the dirt in place, I pour more of the glue on top. You can see it start to seep down into that dirt. It does dry clear, and once it's dry, you don't see it, and it just looks like natural dirt on your arrangement. Before the glue dries, though, you're going to want to poke your floral in, and that way it can go through the glue. Once the glue's dry, it doesn't go in very easy at all. Around the holiday season, I was using bases like this and putting bottle brush trees on top, so I was so excited to find another adorable project to use these base pieces for during the springtime. Drop me a comment below. Let me know, are you going to be trying out any of these projects with thrifted or found lamps in your area? Before we head out today, I wanted to show you another trick with the DIY white wax. I thrifted these sheep for $3.95. I almost left them behind though because they looked a little cheapy and like kids' toys to me. I decided what was bothering me so much was the really dark black paint and how like bright their ears and mouths were. So since I already had my white wax out, I grabbed it and started applying that over the paint on these little resin pieces. I decided to wipe the white wax back off of the feet a little bit and back off of the eyeballs, and it softened them up just enough to give them a much more high-end look. So little touches like this can really elevate your decor. I'm glad I didn't leave these little guys behind. Once that DIY wax dries, it will dry hard and cure, and it will not go anywhere. But just a quick little update on these sheep to end out the video and show you another great use for the DIY wax. I hope y'all enjoyed today's quick video of these high-end flips. If so, be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell to all so YouTube will let you know every time I upload a new video. Till next time, I will see y'all later. Bye, friends. Maisie, come here. Jeez, come here. Come here. You're in my shot. This is not exactly what I had in mind either, honey. I love you. Oh, yeah, thanks for that burp. It's great. Love you. Yeah, I do.